Alright, so today we talked about graphing linear equations and finding the slope. So if we look at the very first example, in order to graph something, you have to make sure that it's in y equals form. So in order to graph this, I need to make sure I isolate this y. So to do that, we need to get the x on the other side. So I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. So now I have 4y equals negative 3x plus 12. Okay, now I need to get rid of that 4, so I'm going to divide by 4. The key here is to make sure you divide each of these by the 4. So what I have left is y equals negative 3/4 x plus 3. Okay, so negative 3 over 4 can't be reduced any further, so that just stays that. And then 12 divided by 4 is 3. So what each of these numbers represents, this is your slope. So this tells you your rise over run. Okay, and then this is your y-intercept. So this tells you where to start when you begin graphing. So if we graph, I'm going to start at 3 on the y-axis. 1, 2, 3. And then my slope tells me to go down 3, right 4. Okay, I'm going down because it's negative. So down 1, 2, 3, right 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 2 points is enough for me to graph, so just connect them and extend them because it is a continuous graph, so it needs to have the arrows on the end. So there's a little tutorial on how to graph and on that example. So next we're going to talk about slope. So slope is rise over run, which you can find by doing y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And then I want you to leave it as a simplified fraction because that helps when you're graphing. On example 2, it asks us to sketch a line of positive slope. So that is increasing from left to right. Negative slope is decreasing from left to right. So this is your negative. This is your positive. Okay, zero slope is a horizontal line. And whenever we have a horizontal line and we're writing the equation, it's always going to be y equals some number, just depending on where that is. Okay, and then undefined slope is a vertical line. And if I wanted the equation of that, it would be x equals some number. So there still is an equation, it's just our graph is undefined, not a function. Alright, so the next piece is to find the slope of the lines passing through 1/2, 3/4, and 2/3, 4/5. So I'm going to use that lovely formula that we talked about above. So your y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Okay, and you need to remember that when you're subtracting fractions, you have to get a common denominator. So common denominator between 5 and 4 would be 20. So I'm going to multiply this one by 4, top and bottom, and this one by 5, top and bottom. So now that the denominators are the same, I can subtract. So 16 minus 15 is 1, and the denominators stay the same. Alright, we're going to do that same process on the bottom. So common denominator between 3 and 2 is 6. So multiply this one top and bottom by 3. So that would be, no, by 2. Sorry. So that would be 4, 6. And then multiply this one by 3, so that would be 3, 6. Okay, so again, when we subtract, 4 minus 3 is 1, and the denominator stays the same. Alright, so now, remember that thing I always tell you in class, dividing by a fraction is the same thing as flipping and multiplying. So that's what I'm going to do here. So, keep the 1/20th, I'm dividing by 1/6, so that's what I need to flip and multiply. So when we multiply straight across the top and straight across the bottom. Okay, now that you have this, you need to reduce that fraction. So when we reduce, this reduces to 3/10. So there's your slope. So if you were to have to graph that, you would go up 3/10. Alright, last example just asks to find the slope of this given line. So what you need to do is just look and see what that rise over run is. So when I rise 4, and then I run 6. So it would be 4, 6, when we can reduce that to be 2/3. So there's your slope of that line. Alright, so I hope that was helpful. Here is the assignment, again, in case you need it. page 69, 5 through 17, 34 through 37. And if you do have any extra questions, please come see me before or after school.